With YouTube attacking alternative media, please consider supporting the channel via Patreon for just $1 per month. Link below. One of the hardest things about covering YouTube news is the constant bring up of Logan Paul, right? And I've talked about Logan Paul, I'd say a fair amount over the course of the past month and a half, probably very much to the dismay of my audience that are just like, God, would you just move on to something else? But what you have to understand is Logan Paul is, a symptom of a larger problem. This issue is a symptom of a larger issue that impacts me as a creator, as a full-time creator. This is my career. So I'm invested into this situation, even from a distance. And I want to make sure that we can talk about it so you guys are in the know. So there's been a lot of people talking about this today about YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki kind of defending Logan Paul by saying he doesn't need to be kicked off of the platform, saying here he hasn't done anything that would cause those 3 strikes. Now, the 3-strike rule essentially is if you mess up and violate community guidelines 3 times, your channel is done. But it's like 3 times over a 6-month period or a year period or something. It's not just like it's not kept on there. It does eventually kind of reset itself. Now, it says that controversial YouTube star Logan Paul doesn't deserve to be kicked off the platform, at least not yet. This coming from YouTube CEO Susan Wojcicki. Paul has been under fire since his trip to Japan when he posted a video of a person who committed suicide, allegedly committed suicide. I just want to reiterate that point one more time. YouTube has temporarily suspended advertising revenue on Paul's account. But even that has kind of been called into question because there was an image I saw floating around today of a McDonald's ad running on a Logan Paul video. But I don't know if it was Logan Paul Vlogs or Logan Paul's channel. Logan Paul Vlogs is the one with the millions and millions and millions of subs. Well, his other main channel's got like 4 million or something, but they may have just only, demonetized the vlog channel and not the other channel. So again, this is what I saw floating around today. Now, speaking at the Code Media Conference in Huntington Beach, Wojcicki said that Paul hadn't met the criteria for being banned off the platform, which is objectively true. It is. It's objectively true. She says he hasn't done anything that would cause those 3 strikes. We can't just be pulling people off our platform. They need to violate a policy. We need to have consistent rules. This is like a code of law, which is true. And people out there have called for Logan Paul to be terminated. There's been a change.org petition. There's been numerous calls to Susan Wojcicki on Twitter. There's been calls to YouTube to get rid of him. There's been all these people that have been trying to get rid of him because of what he did in those videos, not just the Suicide Forest video, but the Japan vlog where he was disrespectful to the culture. And then also the tasing of the rats, the eating Tide Pods on Twitter, those sort of things, or the comments about that, I should say. So there's a lot going on with Logan Paul that has really brought people into this notion that he has continuously violated community guidelines and therefore needs to be removed. But I can't agree with that mindset. As much as I don't like the guy, and he's an idiot, he definitely deserves the opportunity to, follow the same rules as the rest of us. Now, showing the body, that got him a community strike, right? And that's one. Tasing a dead rat is not, we see worse things on there. We see worse things on there that don't get community strikes. We see worse things even than the Suicide Forest video that don't get community strikes. So I think that was more or less one of those things they gave him just to kind of make it look like they, this is his punishment. But like I said, it goes away after a few months. Now, Wojcicki was responding to a question from interviewer Kara Swisher about why YouTube hadn't simply banned Paul in response to his video from Japan, which he subsequently apologized for in a later video in which he shot a taser at a dead rat. It was not enough that a creator's video was considered tasteless, which is true, because anyone out there could look at what I talk about in my commentary and say that I'm tasteless, and I've been told that before. You can look at, and I'm using this merely as an example right now. You can look at Andy Worski's channel, Worski Live, and take a look at all the alt-right and white nationalist superstars he's got flowing through there like a revolving door. And having their debates, having their live streams, talking about their thoughts and their opinions. Is that considered tasteless to some? Yes. Is it enough to get it removed from the platform? Probably not. Probably not. No more than what Logan Paul did. I'm just saying, like, there's tons and tons and tons of tasteless content on this website. She says, what you think is tasteless is not necessarily what someone else would think is tasteless. We need to have consistent laws. So in our policies, we can apply it consistently to millions of videos and millions of creators. And that is true. She's actually taking a stance by defending him. She's defending us. And I kind of hate that because I've rallied against Susan Wojcicki now for like what I feel is like pretty much a year, because we're coming up on 1 year since the whole PewDiePie Wall Street Journal situation. And now she's coming out and like defending creators. I guess the context is different now from the adpocalypse to this, but it's like, damn it, like, all right, fine. I disagree with how you handled yourself business-wise, but I can get behind you here. It's true, though. Her comments reflect the increasing pressure that YouTube has faced to remove offensive videos from the platform. Unilever, a major advertiser on consumer products, threatened to abandon toxic platforms earlier on Monday, saying it would avoid places that do not make a positive contribution to society. Now, I don't know if that means YouTube as a whole or specific creators, but Unilever, I don't think they're going to be working with me. Now, YouTube has a 3 strikes policy that can result in a creator's account being deleted if they repeatedly violate the rules. Prohibited behavior on the platform encompasses a wide range of activity, including copyright violations and violence. But again, it's all contextual. When you have copyright violations and you have violence, right? Like I cover movies on 3 Buck Theater. I'll get copyright claims all the damn time, and they could sit there and argue copyright violation. But then I can also argue fair use. And I know what she's talking about here is like uploading a movie whole cloth to YouTube, or uploading a music video whole cloth, or somebody else's content whole cloth. And you'd be amazed like how many times I have to go in and DMCA my own videos that have been re-uploaded with somebody else's watermark, right? Never mind that like my name and my branding is all over my video. I just find that to be kind of funny, but it happens. And so it's but violence, again, context. Until recently, however, the company has had less to say about videos that people simply find offensive or tasteless, which is true, and they're going to probably continue that way. Now, YouTube has faced criticism that the company applies its policies inconsistently, frequently sparing its more popular creators from punishment. Wojcicki disagreed with that characterization, saying they might complain about that, but we try our very best to be consistent across everybody. Now, that I think is a bit of BS. And the reason why I say that is because of this chucklefuck right here, of Logan Paul himself. Now, the reason why Logan Paul is completely different than everybody else is if it was happening to me, I would not get the same treatment as Logan Paul. All right. And you saw like when I talked about the yesterday and YouTube's new policies to kind of protect us from Logan Paul and PewDiePie, so it only impacts them and not the greater community as a whole. I like that because it's their fault that they've done stupid things, not my fault. So why should I be punished? But with him, he showed a dead body, and YouTube approved it, right? They approved it after it was flagged. We know that. It got to number 1 on trending with 6 million views before it was taken down by Logan Paul, and then he went out and lost his monetization, lost Google Preferred. They put his YouTube Red series, The Thinning, on hold. They pulled him from another YouTube Red show, but they're still willing to work with him. Whereas PewDiePie had the Wall Street Journal go do a straight hatchet job on him, right? Take his jokes out of context, and as a knee-jerk reaction, YouTube pulled him from YouTube Original, right? Scared PewDiePie was gone. Other things he was in was gone. They pulled him from Google Preferred. His MCN Revel Mode, which was what he created in order to get people like Dodger and Jacksepticeye and other gamers on, Maker killed that, ended that. Disney basically fired him. And ever since then, PewDiePie has very much been on a zero fucks given mode, which I'm totally on board with, by the way, because I think I really like PewDiePie now. As a result of that. But we wouldn't have gotten that without this movement, but that doesn't matter essentially. It's that the handling of PewDiePie and the handling of Logan Paul are 2 different things. PewDiePie, while the top one, hitting over 60 million subscribers, doesn't pull in the amount of views that Logan Paul does. And Logan Paul is a much more, I guess you could say brandable face. He went on Jimmy Kimmel recently. He's gone on other talk shows. He's been around. He was, this is a guy who's meant to be the face of YouTube for a long time. The way they handle Logan Paul is different than they would handle someone like me. And that is where I got to call BS. Now, I do appreciate Susan Wojcicki coming out and saying, no, we don't need to remove him from the platform. He hasn't violated everything enough. And what you think to be tasteless is not necessarily going to apply to everybody. So we can't operate on that mindset, which is something I champion and I believe in. And I want to make sure that we all are in agreement there. But we also need to recognize that they've given him more favorable treatment than they've given the rest of us. And that's just crappy.